verdicts have been handed out in the Breonna Taylor case. What was the reasoning behind the charges, and why were not all 4 officers charged with murder? We'll discuss. Then, Week 3 is in the books, and what a weekend it was. Fans are slowly starting to return to some stadiums, and in the state of Florida, well, they're open for business 100%. This Thursday is the first presidential debate. We will have a live show to cover the event. Should we make it a drinking game? Mad Mike, the Sky Marshal Leland Freeman, Nicole Miles, along with producer, the player to be named later, Alexander Lee, all in studio tonight. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave. Welcome. You are now on the air. That stays on. There we go. Hey. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the show. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave, and you are now on the air. What a week we have had. Football is done. I forgot to get Mad Mike's hamburger. He's all pissed off and tired and grumpy, and, of course, he's always tired and grumpy. Leland Freeman, the Sky Marshal's here with us. The producer, player to be named later, Alexander Lee, here pushing all the buttons, making sure all the knobs are turned. And I have contacts in because I went to the doctors. The problem is I have astigmatism, so I can't see stuff up close. So I got to wear these when I'm reading your fun texts on the internet. So
makes you look like an intellectual.
Yeah, and I'm not even that smart. Anyway, tonight we're going to talk about Breonna Taylor. We're going to talk about, could you turn me up just a little bit on the board, all the way at the top, the knob at the top? Number 2. One over. That one right there. There you go. Hey, there I sound a little bit better.
Over here twisting knobs.
Down here twisting knobs. It's a knob twister.
Going old school.
Yeah, I have lost weight. Look at that, man. I'm looking good.
Over there, just like kind of like bunched up, and I was like, just sit up, man.
Had my boobs going and everything.
You're a growing young boy. You got to make sure your posture stays
293 now. Down. Anyway,
catching up to me.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about Breonna Taylor tonight and some things that I have found out. Of course, when you look on the news, it's going to tell you one thing. And it's all to manipulate the emotions behind it. But we're going to look at the actual facts of the case, and I'm going to explain why none of those officers got charged with murder. And we're going to go step by step through that and make sure everybody understands. Because when you understand, when you take the time, and this is important for everybody, especially in this holiday season called election year, that you have to understand that everything is directed towards your emotion. They want your emotional investment so that at the end of the day, they get your vote. So when cases like Breonna Taylor's comes out, and the progression of the story went from she was sleeping in bed and they came in and executed her, all the way to now we have a backstory and context behind it, and her death was tragic and it was avoidable, but I do not believe it was intentional. We'll go into that. Plus, the Micropenises just whooped my ass, man. They beat me like I stole stuff out of the kitchen.
Davis, your fantasy league was easy to pronounce when he just had his Davis tacos.
So anyway, I owe him a burger that I didn't get.
Not just any
my
burger,
my bad. Quad. The quad burger from the Dairy Queen.
And I didn't get that, so my bad. My bad. But anyway, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Plus, we have the picks from last week. And I know I got one right and y'all got one wrong. As my Detroit Lions beat the Cardinals.
Well, it's very
Mike
rare
right
for
there.
a team to lose every single game.
Right there, Mike.
Whoa, wait, hold on. The Lions beat the Cardinals?
The Lions beat the Cardinals.
How many did you think you got right last week?
One. One for sure.
You got
Wow.
3.
I got 3 out of 6 right.
Yeah.
So I did the big 50%.
So do you always choose the Lions even though they
Always.
Basically.
they're going to
Always.
lose?
Cleveland, you only got
Always.
half of them right too. Do you know who did well on their picks?
Who did well on their
Me
picks?
and Randy is fucking usual because me and
As
Randy
usual, yeah.
are smart, and we have brains, huge brains, big ones,
Big brains.
with thunks. Thinks of stuff.
What you thinks of stuff? For those of you watching Monday Night Football and coming over here and joining us, welcome and thank you. Hopefully you have the game on in the background like I do. And Patrick Mahomes is taking it to him right now. Something first.
You know what's awesome about?
Something first.
You know what's still good about that game that's playing right now?
What's that?
It's not going to save you from.
It's
bowing
not.
out
All the
and
players are
pieces.
done. All our players are done playing. So.
Told you. You wanted to bet against the micro.
Well, you know, I had one guy.
I'm not a betting man.
I had
And you were
one
like,
guy
"No."
on the bench that got 30 points. I had one of the greatest receivers in the game only got me 6 points.
And I pulled 3 players to be nice for like a mercy rule sort of scenario.
No, you didn't. You forgot about it,
Yeah, that's what I meant.
which makes it even worse. You forgot to even do anything with it.
He had the Dairy Queen quad. What's the, it's not the Stacker because that's Burger King. What's their quad burger called?
The Belt Buster.
The
Dairy Queen's Belt Busters.
no, it's gut, hunger belt
Buster.
and then double gut buster.
I don't know, man. It's 4 patties of meat. I don't know.
It should be the quadruple bypass burgers. What it should be called?
So anyway, Breonna Taylor. Now, when this story first came out, the story was that an EMT who was out helping people with COVID was asleep in her bed, and the police officers showed up at the wrong house, and while she was sleeping in her bed, they shot and killed her. That was the first story that came out. And that is not anything close to the truth. First, let's tackle the first thing. She wasn't an EMT. She had lost her job as an EMT because of the ex-boyfriend that was actually the drug dealer that they were looking for. Apparently, she rented a car. He borrowed it, and a dead body turned up in it.
So she was an accessory.
Well, she was never convicted, never tried or anything, but because of that and some other things, she lost her EMT job. So she wasn't an EMT at the time. Now, everybody's mad because the 3 officers that were involved were not charged with murder. And this is where an understanding of the law comes in. Because in order to have a murder conviction from a grand jury, the evidence has to show that at some point the actors, or the people, we call them actors, 1, 2, or 3 of the officers had to show intent that at some point they were going to go kill somebody. They have to have evidence to prove that one or all of them at one point prior to entering the apartment said, man, I'm going to go in here and I don't care what happens, but I'm going to kill somebody.
That includes
Now that's murder.
that includes second-degree murder and
No, well, there's depending on the state. Now in Texas, second-degree murder is that you go out and with the intent to kill somebody, but you don't know who it is, and you just go out and you're going to go kill somebody. That's second-degree murder. But you went out to intend to kill somebody.
Okay.
Third-degree murders through like negligence and recklessness.
Isn't that similar to voluntary manslaughter in Texas?
Similar, kind of, sort of, but not really. If that makes sense. Yeah. I'd have to get back into the penal code to find out the nuances between them.
You said fucking.
I know he was waiting on it. But first-degree murder. First-degree murder means that not only do you intend to kill somebody, but you know who it is that you intend to kill, and you planned it out.
Yeah, it's like premeditated.
It's premeditated. You were going to go to somebody's house and kill them. You knew who they were, and you were going to go blow them away. That's first-degree murder. Capital murder is when you kill police officers, public servants, teachers, people in the public trust, politicians. That's capital murder. So to say that any of these three officers should be charged with murder means you don't understand the law. Because the law, you have to show intent. Now, the second thing that people ask is, well, why weren't they charged with
manslaughter,
negligent homicide, something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think negligent homicide and third-degree murder are kind of the same thing, just different name type thing, depending on the state. Well, here's the deal. Police officers, and they keep bringing up implied immunity. Is that what it's called?
Or sovereign immunity.
Sovereign immunity, applied immunity. But they're using it wrong. Now, in order for a police officer to enter a private residence. Qualified immunity. That's it. In order for a police officer to enter somebody's private residence, they have to have a court order signed by a judge. Now, that court order or that warrant can be one of many things. It can be specific, saying that we have a warrant to go into the second drawer of the kitchen to the right. Or it can be a broader warrant. Like in this case, it was to go in to search for drugs and money because her house, through surveillance, her house was determined to be, or her apartment was determined to be an apartment that her ex-boyfriend used to store drugs and money, so he wouldn't get ripped off by other drug dealers, or he wouldn't have it on him if he gets busted by the police. Now, in order to get a warrant to go into a private residence, it's not as easy as the TV and everything where the cops just say, well, we're just going to go get a warrant. They have to write a report. They have to come with articulable evidence to give them reasonable belief that whatever they're going to search for exists in that residence. And then they have to present that to a judge who's going to put them through the third degree and ask questions about it. And if the judge is satisfied with the information and the findings and the police officers swear to it, that's when he signs a warrant. Now, these officers had a warrant that was legal. They had the correct address. They didn't serve this warrant looking for a person. They were serving this warrant to try to find drugs and money. And Breonna Taylor's name was specifically on that warrant. Now, when you read a warrant, if I'm a cop and I'm like, okay, we got a no-knock warrant for this residence, but our records indicate that the only person that lives here is a female EMT. So they got a no-knock warrant, and then they messed it up. If they would have properly executed a no-knock warrant, which means no announcement, take the battering ram up there, bust the door, you're in, and it's like a shock troop type thing. And what a no-knock warrant is designed for is that if they know there's evidence at the scene, they want to get in and secure the evidence before whoever's inside the residence can destroy it or flush it down the toilet or get rid of it. That's the purpose of a no-knock. I don't like them personally because I think you should have enough evidence before you go in somebody's house. You should already have everything you need. You shouldn't have to go into the house to find more.
You shouldn't, yeah, because if you have the evidence that you need and you can get it out in the open without any chance of confrontation, and then you can go to the house and get all the other stuff afterwards. I mean, yeah, there's a chance that, people flush it and destroy it and everything like that. But I mean, like, who gives a shit? It's a lot.
Well, you should have enough so you shouldn't have to worry about that, in my
Yeah.
opinion. In my opinion.
I mean, you don't do that shit in America at 4:00 in the morning, knowing that that person's probably more than likely going to have guns. I mean, most people in this country do actually own guns.
Well,
If you go bashing in there without a battering ram and try to kick the door open, I mean, yeah, it's, some sort of force is going to be warranted.
well, here's where the cops messed up, though, because they assumed that Breonna Taylor was there alone. They didn't know her new boyfriend was there. So they half-assed a no-knock.
Yeah. And didn't they like half-ass the warrant too? Like,
No, the warrant was good. The warrant was good, but the tactics were wrong. So what they did is they decided to show some empathy to their subject. Instead of busting down her door and going in there, they knocked. They knocked loudly because it's 4 a.m. They say they announced who they were. A couple of neighbors corroborated that, but as everybody knows, you can't hear anybody outside your front door yelling stuff, and especially when you're woken up out of a dead sleep and people are banging on the door with a history of that residence holding drugs and money, which are usually hit by other drug dealers to get their stuff stolen, and that's what the boyfriend said. He thought someone was breaking in to steal stuff. And I'm sure
there's been instances where like people have knocked on the door and announced themselves as police, and they weren't police.
yeah, and then they bust in to rob the place. That happened
Yeah.
all the time when I was a cop in Austin. There were home robberies, and then we'd get the call and we'd show up, and of course, the deal's done. So it was half-ass tactics that woke them up. The boyfriend gets a gun. I'm sure if he's dating Breonna, he knows about her past. And yes, it is important because it's important in the context. It's not an indictment. It's not she deserved to die because of her past. She didn't deserve to die.
She didn't hurt anybody.
In the process of the events that unfolded, she was caught in the crossfire. If you want to blame something for her death, blame the war on drugs.
Yeah.
Officers are nothing more than people that are serving as to attack.
They're not constables.
Well,
they're not.
Yeah, but any police officer, any police officer can serve a warrant, and most police officers do. Constables serve civil warrants, not criminal. But here, and this is just kind of a side note. But I think the attention is intentionally being put on the police officers when you have to understand that police officers are a reactionary force. They react. If you want to break down the systematic racism, you're attacking the wrong entity of the system.
They're not dogs either. They're not robots.
The police don't write laws. The police only act on what they have, and then they go in and they execute it. If you want to change the laws, the police will react to that. And the people that are in charge of that are running for president of the United States.
Yeah.
So if you want to change the system,
wrong.
change the elected officials and change the law.
But I don't necessarily think that cops are immune to criticism. And
No, I'm not saying that.
no, I'm just saying, I don't think that they're immune to fault.
No, they're not, because they're humans and humans make mistakes. But I don't believe there's intent.
Yeah.
I don't believe in this day and age, as much as it took. I know what it takes to be a cop. It was a long process.
Yeah, you were a good cop.
I am
though.
not
Like we've
gonna-
discussed before. In
I know,
the past,
and
you
most
know
o-
bad cops.
I know, but I don't see anybody going through all that to say, I'm going to go shoot me a darkie today.
Don't
You know what I'm saying? Nobody says that.
I mean,
And Breonna Taylor was
That's
not
not true,
killed. Breonna Taylor was not killed because she was black.
yeah, it's not a race thing as much as it is a systemic kind of like thing. It's not like a personal
But
thing.
the
towards
police aren't
her.
going to. You
It's
can't.
just all the variables of the situation
Yeah,
all
you
have
can't-
a common.
Yeah, but you're not going to change
consequence.
You're not going to change the system by changing police. You're going to change the
They're
system.
the ones that are doing it. They're the ones that are
Yeah, but they can't.
acting
they
on
also,
the orders.
Yeah, and they cannot not act on those orders. It's
Why not?
It's dereliction of duty. You have an order from a judge. You have to act on it. If I get a warrant and it's a felony warrant, and the judge and then I do all the work to get the warrant issued, and then I say, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. Well, I mean, who's to say I was wrong or right? I mean, everybody's an expert in hindsight. If they would have done the no-knock correctly, they would have been in the apartment before they got out of bed. They would have had them in custody, and both would be alive today. That was a tactical error.
They shouldn't be doing no knocks anyway. There's always.
I agree with that. However, if they had executed this no-knock correctly instead of half-assing it, they wouldn't have had time to react, get his gun, and shoot at the police coming through the door. Which gets us to our next point. The police are acting within the law that are written on an order from a court or a judge, which they are bound to through their oath to obey.
Law enforcement officers.
They half-assed the entry. They got shot at, and it's in their right to return fire to defend themselves. Yeah. So there's no intent.
Okay.
They didn't go there to kill anybody, so they can't be charged with murder. The one guy got fired, and he got charged with reckless endangerment because one thing I will tell you they do at the
wanton endangerment.
Wanton endangerment or whatever it was. Yeah. That's because he there's no such thing in police work as suppressing fire. If we don't have a target, we don't shoot. That's how we're trained. You have to have a target to shoot.
Yeah, it's not like you have like.
So he was just shooting his gun randomly.
So he was just shooting randomly through the apartment.
M240 Bravo at the door there, laying suppressive fire.
So what we have here again, and we've had this conversation, and you and I have, Alex, we have a bunch of individual human beings acting in how they believe is acting the way they believe is correct, and they get in a shitstorm, and in the moment, they make human mistakes.
Okay,
And
but
here we
how,
are.
in the same breath, how can you say that if you want somebody to blame the drug war? And these are the foot soldiers of the drug war. I mean,
So-
it's just following orders isn't a viable excuse to
So you think
engaging in a no-knock warrant when it's been chosen and debated and agreed upon by a large member of the law community as unconstitutional.
So you believe that all police officers should lay down their guns and say we're not enforcing any laws until they're changed?
I'm saying don't. You know, if your
But if the-
higher command was like,
So do
hey,
you
we're going to
believe?
go serve this no-knock warrant on a known drug dealer. You may get sprayed on with an AK-47. Good luck.
Well,
I'd be like,
do you believe
hey,
that?
guys, I like you all, guys. I respect you guys. I think you're good people. Let's not do that. Let's find a better way.
So do you
I mean,
believe?
if workers can unionize, I mean, don't you a police union? Can they not stick up for the foot soldier? You know,
Okay,
not the
there's
foot
nothing-
soldier, but
there's
the
nothing
foot guys
saying-
and say like, hey, we don't want our officers engaging in these no-knock warrants anymore. It's too risky. It's too much of a shit show every single time. You know, every time something bad goes wrong, people get pissed off about it, and it's just not. It's not conducive.
Okay, do you
to
believe in
a?
Hold on, let me ask a question. Do you
Go for it.
believe in this case that these three officers thought that and went ahead and went against their own thing, or did they think they were acting in the best interest of the community?
You just
and
said
their
that they
jobs?
half-assed it, so obviously not.
No. Well, they didn't half-ass it because they didn't believe in what they were doing. They half-assed it because they believed she was in there alone and were trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, and it backfired.
So you think that she's in there alone. So you got three guys armed with vests.
Yep. They didn't know
And
anybody else was in
They're
there.
going to give her the benefit of the doubt of kicking in her door and serving a no-knock warrant.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't do a no-knock warrant. They're doing exactly what you're proposing.
At
They
4 o'clock
knocked.
in the morning.
They knocked.
They couldn't stand out, stake it out for, 2 days to see, like, oh, yeah, she usually leaves the apartment at this time. We'll get her then out in the open.
Well,
Like
again,
they should have done with David Koresh.
initially, it was a no-knock, which you do at 4 a.m. in the morning. And
No.
they didn't do a
I'm not buying
no-knock.
it, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think
And-
it's.
I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? They acted.
I get what you're saying. I think it's bullshit.
And with Koresh,
So
that
to
was
attack-
an intentional thing. They called it Operation Showtime because they wanted to make an example
Yeah.
of him.
So,
It failed miserably.
but to say now to throw the collective in it, and say that all cops need to be attacked for this and need to stand up and say we're not doing no knocks and not do this and not do that all over the entire nation when this is the one incident where these officers made that decision.
It's not just
and did
one
it wrong.
incident, though.
How many is it?
Let's see. Just what was it last year? Acevedo said that they're not going to do no-knock warrants anymore because they no-knocked the wrong house and some dude killed 2 officers with an AK and got off for it. Let's see. What was the other one?
In Houston.
Where they no-knocked the wrong. They no-knocked
Was that the
a
Black
mobile,
Tower
a
heroin
single wide
house?
house, and some guy with a double-action revolver took out 2 cops as well, and then they killed him and his wife, and it ended up being the wrong house. That was in Houston too.
That was the Black Tar heroin one, and Mike, you
It was
corrected
the
me.
wrong house.
Yeah, you corrected me a couple of weeks ago on that one though.
So that's
There was
3.
Duncan Limp, which nobody's talking about, who was literally shot in his bed over, I think it was 10-round magazines or some shit like that. I'm looking it up right now. Davis, do you remember what that was about?
Yeah, allegedly he wasn't supposed to own firearms or magazines, and then when they like capped his ass, they didn't find magazines or ammo, and he was dead in his bed. So,
Shot him and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So it happens all the time. People just don't talk about it. Or, you know, when it's a racial thing, people, you know, obviously the black community has more of a problem with no-knock raids than the fucking white community or the gun community because nobody ever gets up all up in arms about when
So-
one of us, or when not us, but when, you know, one of, you know, if it's a white guy that gets shot, like the white people are like, well, I'm sure he was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing anyway.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is then get rid of the cops.
No, what I'm saying is
That'll fix everything.
Stand up. Do something. Don't just be, well, I'm just following orders and I'm just trying, you know, I'm just trying to get by doing this and blah, blah, blah. And I have no problem kicking in somebody's door and shooting them dead. And, you know, as long as I'm just
And
doing
you think
what I'm
all
told.
cops are like that?
All cops are like that? No. I'm just saying that enough people in this country are tired of it to where every single time that it happens, unless cops are going to start holding themselves to a higher standard and holding each other to a higher standard and holding their superiors to a higher standard, something like, no, we're not doing this shit anymore.
So
Wasn't there-
so are they?
Wasn't there?
Hold on. So are they tired of it because it happens all the time, or are they tired of it because they hear about it all the time?
Both.
How many people were killed by police officers last year? Remember, there's 330 million people in the United States.
Go for it.
Right around 2,500. 0.00004%.
Yeah.
Change the laws.
Or just, you know.
Change the laws. You
like I
can't
said,
just
if the
change.
politicians aren't going to change the laws because they're all crooked and they know that they're going to have the support of the police community, then the police community needs to look at the politicians along with the people and say, cut the shit. Stop putting our lives in danger. Stop putting innocent lives in danger. Stop making us do this shit. And everybody will be copacetic. It'll all be good. But no, people want to say, oh, we got to back the blue. We got to back the laws. You know, this is a country of law and order. And it's not. And it's...
So don't do anything with the politicians. Just change law enforcement. Defund them. I do.
No, you
I
didn't
do
listen
think
to what I just said.
I did,
said that
I did.
the police community needs to stand with the people that they have told. They have taken an oath to serve and protect, and stand against their superiors and stand against their. You know, it happens. It happens in Spain. It happens in Europe where cops actually put their shields down and they put their batons down, and they stand with the people that they have taken an oath to protect and serve against politicians. It happens. It can happen. If that happened in this country, you would see change happen so fast.
France is actually a really good example because there was one where like cops and firefighters decided to riot with them, and I was like,
Yeah, it was
fuck
sweet.
yeah. But no, I mean, if we want to bring up another case and point for like a no not gone wrong, there was one in Belton like a year and a half ago, and he's still going through the legal system right now because they no knocked his ass at like 2:33 in the morning, and he killed an officer, and it was the wrong fucking house still. And it was like same thing, and they were like straight up at the wrong place. And they know.
Well, I'm with you with the no knocks. I don't think they should exist. I'm with you with
Honestly,
that.
Yeah, I'm just like, get rid of no knock warrants. Everybody should universally.
I get
agree
that.
they're a
I get that. I get
horrible
that.
idea.
However, going back to the Brianna case, and somebody in the chat, He-Man, says if it was white women from Dallas suburbs, those cops would be locked up. No, they would not, because they would still have to meet the elements of the crime, which means they would have had to show intent.
I mean, wrongful death, manslaughter, shit like that. All
but they were there.
Jobs. Why'd you half-ass this?
Well, like I said,
Yada yada yada.
like I said, they thought she was there alone. They were trying to be nice, and that's what happens when you try to be nice. You get shot at.
They got a wrongful death settlement.
Well, they're going to get the settlement because the city doesn't. Just because you get the settlement,
Did you just say
doesn't
that's
mean,
what happens when you're nice? You get shot at.
In this case, yeah. They tried
So
to
like
knock
you
on
keep
the.
going back and forth.
No,
you
no,
keep
no.
Giving
See, you're
cops
not-
immunity, or
I'm not
you keep
giving
making
cops
the
immunity. I'm trying to
argument.
break you out of the. In just one case, the cops half-assed it. They didn't do a no-knock. They had a no-knock warrant. They did not do a no-knock. If they had done a no-knock, both those people probably would be alive because they wouldn't have had a chance to react. They decided to knock and see if she would come to the door so they wouldn't have to do a no-knock. When she didn't open the door, after they claimed they announced, and other people corroborated that.
One
the
witness corroborated that.
Or they were in body cams.
Yeah, in the photos that they took
weren't.
afterwards.
They weren't because they were a special unit that didn't wear them. However, even if they didn't announce, they were still in a position where they can return fire if they're fired on, because they believe that they were there doing what they were supposed to be doing. They weren't there to kill anybody. They returned fire after getting shot at, and one of them got shot. At that point, it's too late.
They did have body cams.
The cops that were actually did the warrant did not. The cops that responded, the SWAT team that responded did.
Okay.
The ones that actually, and that's another thing. They should have all had cameras on.
Yeah. See, I think
That would have and I was a big believer in cameras when I was a cop. And when people showed up to film what I was doing, I had no problem with it.
No, I think it's great because when somebody's like, they did this to me, and they're trying to get settlement money because they got like roughly handled, but it shows them like kicking, spitting, and being a dick.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, you definitely deserve to be thrown on the ground because you were a dickhead.
You instigated.
Yeah. And like, I think body cams are a good idea. People
Oh,
should be
they're-
held
they're-
accountable on both sides because if you're a piece of shit and we catch it on camera, like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
My camera saved me a lot,
yeah.
especially working in East Austin at night, because I had 10 complaints filed against me when I was working over there, because it was standard that when you arrested somebody, that their lawyer would immediately file a complaint that it
Yeah.
was racial.
And then
And that was automatic. That's just because I was a white cop, not because I arrested him just because he was black. Because 90% of the people live there are black. That's all I dealt with. It's not like I can't go over that 5% of the white population over there to even it out or anything. And I reacted. And trust me, when I went to work, I did not want to go to jail. I don't want to process any drugs. I just want everybody to be nice. Can you be nice for 10 hours? Just be nice.
Because it was more work for you if you arrested.
Exactly.
I
have-
a report. You had to get.
I have a solution to this warrant issue as a whole, okay? And we need to roll back to just putting speakers in front of somebody's house and playing loud fucking music
Until they come out.
or terrifying ghost sounds like they did in Vietnam until they step out of their house and they're like, fuck this, I'm not going to be here. And you're like, all right, well, you're going to jail. And then they're like, oh, well, there's nothing in the house.
Yeah.
Good thing we bought this giant fucking speaker system. Like, this is a much better idea, okay? It worked for Noriega.
But you also have to understand. I understand what you're saying, Alex. I do. I get it. But you also have to understand that every night in this nation, even tonight, millions of warrants are being served, and no one's getting killed.
Right. And there's millions of police officers that outnumber the politicians that could easily,
I get
like
it.
I said,
but
uphold
don't.
their oath and stand with the people and ending these bullshit
Wait,
policies.
is
I understand.
I thought it was like
but
300,000 police
but think.
Oh, eat it, Dick Leland.
But understand, that millions of warrants are being served every day with no incident that don't result in somebody getting shot.
I
and
highly
killed.
doubt that the government is that efficient. I'm sorry.
Well, The officers are.
I would divide that by like 100.
The officers are that efficient. So, with all the things that are being said, 900,000 plus sworn officers have over 1 million contacts with American citizens every day. And we lose less than 2,500 a year. So that's pretty good numbers.
No, it's not.
Because the economy.
Now, if you want to go zero tolerance, then what we should do is close down all the fast food joints because, over 100,000 people die of congestive heart failure.
That's their
That's
choice.
your own
That's their
choice.
choice to go get that. That's the beauty of this country is if somebody wants to swell up to 400 pounds and die at the age of 45, that's their constitutional right to do so.
Yeah. See, I think.
What they don't have a right
Well,
to
you're
do
never
is to
gonna
be
have-
sleeping peacefully in their bed and some jackbooted assholes start kicking down their door and then expected,
Now look
because
at the
they're
context,
humans,
though.
not to react.
Look at the context of that, though. Why would jack-booted Nazi thugs be beating
I didn't
down
say
your-
Nazis
Well,
thugs.
jack-booted thugs be...
I didn't say thugs.
Why would jack-booted, whatever the hell you fucking said, be
I think I said
knocking down-
assholes, but-
assholes be knocking down your door at 4 a.m.?
7 minutes in.
Why would they be doing that?
I don't know.
Probably because they have surveillance video of one of your ex-boyfriends
Probably
stashing
because
drugs and money there, breaking the law.
Benevolent, all-knowing government couldn't possibly be wrong in having the wrong address.
They
you know?
didn't. They had the right address. And she was on the warrant.
I'm talking about other instances where it's happened and people have died and be like, oh well, I guess we just won't.
Oh, well, those are
know,
those are
oops.
horrible mistakes, and those officers need to be held accountable, and also the people who came to the wrong address. And those are human mistakes made by humans. That's not the government, but to change
The government's made up of people.
But to change the reason why those people are in a position to make mistakes and have human mistakes that cost people's lives, that's where you change the law. Because in the moment, the officer
I agree
believes
with
he's
you.
right.
I
In the
agree with
moment,
you.
the officers believe they're right. When things go wrong and mistakes are made, now everybody wants to say, well, you should have not done it at all. Well, no shit. Hindsight's a genius. But if
it's the
with all the warrants-
insanity theory. It's the
with
doing
all the
the same
warrants
thing
that
over
I
and over
served as a
again.
cop, I probably had one go bad, and nobody died, and nobody got shot, but it was the wrong address. I didn't know that. But I've
Like you
served
said,
hundreds.
end of the drug war. We agree on
End the
that.
drug war, absolutely. End the drug war, and change the policies and change the politicians.
But they're not going to do that as long as they know that the gun and the force is going to be on their side. That's my point. Is that we can pitter patter and shit our pants and and get all up in arms as a people and then go fight the cops because the cops are just doing the job, or the cops can be like, hey, this is bullshit. I just I wanted to protect and serve, and these people are mad at me. I just wanted to do my job. You guys need to start changing shit, or you're going to be on your own. If you're going to leave us out on our ass, we're going to leave you out on your ass.
Well, hopefully that change is coming. Do we have a you got to show that ad, dude. We're going to take a break. We
so
got to
bad.
I know it's horrible, but it's awesome.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's awesome.
It's amazing.
Key it up. We'll take a break. Right now it's 27-20. Baltimore on the way back. Fourth quarter, 11:36 left. We're going to take a break. And this guy is out of... Hold on.
Hold it.
Hold on. No,
Hey,
no.
let me...
Jesus Christ.
Turn your mic off, Leland. God damn,
You guys over
son.
there with
We'll be right...
1 second. Jesus, 1 second.
The producers over there... This is...
It's not my fault this thing auto plays.
This is Crenshaw out of Dallas, and he's running for the Senate, and it's pretty dang cool. So we're going to run that. And Alex hates it. I think it's cool.
It's just like-
We'll be right back. I'm
hell,
Mike
man?
Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave, and you're on the air.
Hey, dude, I gotta turn.
You'll miss mission, should you choose to accept it, will be to save Texas. To do so, you must recruit an exceptional team of congressional candidates. They must be courageous, patriotic, and absolutely fearless. Time is of the essence. The nation's future is dependent upon your success.
You still know how to fly one of these things?
Dan Crenshaw.
I'm putting a team together, Wesley. You in?
You know I wouldn't miss this for the world, right? Wait. I think August is going to want to come too.
You guys looking for a real pilot? Let me get cleaned up.
You're an F-22 pilot. What were you doing working under a helicopter?
I have no idea what I was doing, but typical Air Force fixing the Army's problems.
This guy, Dan, bro, you could have just texted me, man. Why you gotta jump out of an airplane? It's would have been way
Because
easier.
it's cooler to jump. Never mind.
Come here.
And I want to thank these officers for a job well done.
Hey, Beth, when you're finished over there, Texas could use your help.
What the?
Hey, Tony, Texas has a better use for your talents.
Hey guys, who's next?
No.
I got this.
Pretty cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Come on, you liked it.
It's just goofy. It's like,
Well, of course it's goofy. It's cheesy as hell.
it's like, what is what's going on here? Like, what's
So Crenshaw is in Congress and he's running for re-election, and he's gathering a bunch of his friends in the Republican Party that are running for different congressional districts in Texas. And I assume none of these guys were incumbents, so they're trying to retake House seats.
Got it. Shoot. Turn that down. All right, football picks. How do we do? My croppiness.
Fucking Cowboys. Actually, Dak did pretty damn good. It's just his damn receivers didn't catch the balls.
All right, so we're gonna go down the line.
Go down the line.
So we started with the Texas and the Steelers, and you chose the Texans foolishly.
Yeah, wow.
The Steelers obviously won that like they were going to, so Chuck is probably extremely excited. Then we have the next one, which is the Oakland Raiders, or whatever the hell they're called now.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, the Raiders haven't been cool since John Madden was with them. Versus the Pats, and you also foolishly chose the Raiders. So You got that one wrong as well. Same thing with you, Leland. Shouldn't be choosing the Raiders. That was a bad idea. Then we have a bird team versus the Bears. And that was,
Yeah, but it's the bird team that falls on its ass in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's the bird team that just does not do well. And obviously they lost to the Bears. And you chose that one as
Who has Nick Foles?
0-3.
So that was the one. That was an easy pick for the Bears.
Did I pick the Bears?
No, you didn't. You chose.
Oh shit!
You chose.
Chose the Falcons.
Yeah.
Damn.
Then we had the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm not picking the Falcons for the rest of the season, man.
Then we chose the Cowboys versus my Seahawks. The only one who got that one wrong was Leland, because why would you choose the Cowboys?
Would
Out
you
of all
pick
the
the
teams,
Cowboys?
The Cowboys, los pinches Cowboys.
If the receivers actually caught the damn balls and ran the routes correctly, and if they fucking coached that team properly, they would have won that. I'm sorry, Dak Prescott did a damn good job, but he can't win the damn game alone.
You know what the C for Cowboys stands for? What's that? Cope Harder Cowboys fans, because your team sucks. Then we had the upset game. Detroit against the Cardinals. And the fucking Cardinals lost like pieces of shit to Detroit. That was the only one that everybody else picked the Cardinals. We were all wrong.
And I picked Detroit.
Which is a pile of crap.
Because I picked Detroit.
That's a mulligan. I should just get that one right.
That's not a
just
mulligan.
Principle.
No, that's not a mulligan.
And then we had my personal favorite. The Patrick is going to be butthurt game. 'Cause he is going to be
The Saints,
immensely
man.
mad. And,
Oh, my
and
God.
Mickey too. They're both probably extremely pissed. And I was like, watch this. Aaron Rodgers is going to outperform Drew Brees. It's just the natural order of things. And I was proved right. And I love that. Because then I get to rub it in Patty's face. Yeah. And pretty much the only one who picked the Saints here was, obviously the Saints fan.
Patty,
Mickey.
yeah.
And, well, I didn't get Patty's picks, but I'm assuming Patty picked them.
Yeah, he picked them.
Yeah, and they lost, so the Packers beat them. Which brings it down to here.
Packers are 3-0.
The people who, came out on top on this week's picks, again, were being Randy because...
Did you hear that, Randy?
We have massive brains that are wrought with theorems.
Massive
profundities, and
luck.
Abstractions. We're smart.
Hey, you're the one who had luck picking the Lions.
Yeah, that's luck.
How much did the
Look,
Lions beat the
I don't
Cardinals?
luck out and pick the Lions. I pick the Lions every freaking week. Every week. It's consistent.
And you lucked out they won.
And they're not going to lose every single game this season.
Well, clearly they're not.
No, I knew that. It's hard to go 0-16 in this league.
Isn't it only
They're
like
not
2
going to
years
lose
that
every
happened?
single game. It's only 2 times 2 teams have ever went. One of them was the Lions. And
You're not making your case. But keep going.
No, I am making my case because I don't pick for luck. I pick the Lions, just like you pick the Cowboys every week. And the Cowboys ain't going undefeated, are they? No.
Well,
Matter of fact, I don't think.
When they play
I tell you what.
Redskins-
Here's my prediction: the Cowboys are not going to win another game till November.
Hopefully not against the Redskins. Redskins rule. I'm still calling them the Redskins.
That's not cool anymore, man.
It's not cool, man.
What are they called?
Okay, Randy says he goes with the massive brains.
The Washington football team.
So we got to get
Yeah. Big brains. Yeah.
34-20. KC scored another touchdown because
It's not with Hill.
Yeah. So.
Well, look at your phone and see.
I'm looking.
And yell and scream. I'm glad you're yelling and screaming because Nicole's not here.
Right? Yeah. No, see, I'm just, I feel the same way about picking my Seahawks, except I know my Seahawks are a winning team. So, there's
Well,
that.
It's still my team, though. You guys can bust my balls all you want. It's still my team.
The other week when it was the Pats versus my Seahawks, you were like, "Nah, Patriots are gonna destroy them."
Well, that's because that's what I thought.
And it was just you should have just went the Seahawks, man. And like I get it, you're gonna pick the Lions to win every game.
Well, I mean, outside the Lions, I just pick who I think's gonna win.
I mean, yeah, and sometimes you have to side more with me on these picks. Okay? I'm a football guru because I don't pay attention.
Well, I kind of don't out of principle.
Goes with his gut.
Yeah, I go with whatever team sounds cooler, name wise, or what animals I prefer.
Joe Jorgensen is the libertarian.
Oh, damn it!
Bird teams.
Shut up.
Yeah, bird teams.
Bird teams.
Wait,
typically.
you can still pick the Falcons.
No, I mean I just pick who's a better team.
Well, I don't think.
Sometimes I pick teams just based on their mascot.
I don't think
that's right.
I don't think anybody's going to pick the Falcons after last week.
No, and I mean for good reasons because they're terrible.
Because they're horrible.
Is Michael Vick not doing a good job?
Michael Vick.
Yes.
How did Tony Romo do?
How'd Romo do? Oh, Romo did great.
Yeah.
He threw an interception, tossing it back up to the booth.
Yeah, man. Joe Montana out here just throwing games for days.
All right, so next week.
He injured his back picking up the microphone.
Next week, here are the games.
All right,
First game up. You ready?
Okay, hold on.
It's Leland.
All right.
Cleveland at Dallas. Cleveland coming off a big win this weekend.
Isn't Cleveland 2-0?
2-1.
I'm still betting Dallas. There's no way Cleveland.
Because it's your team.
Well, we discussed this about Cleveland and Detroit. Remember, a couple years ago, I was trying to make you feel good. Last year when I was trying to make you feel
you
good.
don't have to make me feel good.
Cowboys. I'm going to root for the Cowboys.
Goddamn. I'm a goddamn Lions. I'm a Lions fan. I've accepted it. Okay, so Randy, it's going to be Cleveland versus Dallas. I think you have a fan, Leland. This is the guy in black. I don't know who He-Man is.
Huh.
Yeah, we're missing Nicole. Nicole didn't make it in tonight, so. And hopefully soon we'll have a fourth camera. And we'll be out in the big studio, and Alex will be in here all by his lonesome.
Good. Get the hell out of my freaking space.
He'll be all on his
Get out of
own.
my area, motherfucker.
Get out of my area. You're in my space,
I'm gonna
man.
give you like an anti-people 2x4, so when people come to
Hell
your
yeah.
area,
It's not like a paddle.
Just give me
I don't know if
give
you
me an
guys
airsoft gun or whatever. I can just pick you guys out.
a Nerf gun.
A Nerf gun.
Tyler Shields, Randy Fry, Dallas.
Okay, hold on.
You know who I'm picking.
Yeah, dude.
Baker Mayfield.
All right, so Cleveland, Dallas. Who picks who?
I got Cleveland.
Okay, that's smart. See,
Randy's got Dallas.
big times in Cleveland today, still Cleveland. The Drew Carey's. Who do you pick, Leland?
I already said Dallas. And you got two mediocre teams.
Oh my
Who does Randy pick?
That is funny.
Dallas.
Did Randy? No, Randy. Who did Randy pick?
Tyler, Cleveland's motto: "We're not Detroit."
We're not Detroit. Literally, yes. So Cleveland. Who does Randy pick?
Randy picks Dallas, and Tyler picks Dallas.
Randy.
I never realized how close Detroit was to Canada. That's probably explains,
Yeah, we used to drive right across.
It's like right across the street.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we used to go across to Windsor and drink.
All right. What's the next one?
Because
You didn't have a map.
Next
For the
one.
First time in a long time. I was like, oh shit. It's like
Danger
right there.
Davis, are you watching, buddy? New Orleans at Detroit.
Ooh, take Detroit on that one.
And I picked Detroit.
They're going to go out there knowing they're not going to win, so they're just going to have fun, and they end up winning.
So that's what happened last
Actually,
week.
they're going to win.
That's
till
what
like
happened
the
against
third quarter.
Arizona.
What was New Orleans' record?
1-2.
You know what? I'm going to go bet on the Lions, too.
What?
Yeah.
You'll all be disappointed along with me.
Yep. Randy and Okie.
Randy and Okie. Wait on Randy and Okie.
What's the next one? I guess.
The next one is Pittsburgh at Tennessee.
Ooh, that's an easy one.
And Chuck will be here next week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to work on getting 4 cameras.
Steelers. That's easy enough.
I think I'm going to go with the Titans on this one.
That's a bad idea.
Randy Fry's going with New Orleans.
Smart, Randy. Let's see, Randy. Big
Tyler's got Nolans.
Also big brain.
Say Nolans.
Nolans.
Who'd you go with? The Titans?
Titans.
Okay.
He said Tennessee.
What about Okie?
Okie. He hasn't posted yet.
All right.
Next one up, Seattle at Miami.
Yep. Seattle.
Going with Seattle?
Seattle.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with Seattle on this one.
See, that's smart.
Steelers, Randy Fry. Steelers. Let's see who's the other person that we have. Nicole. Who's her team?
Saints. We have 4 games. We had to get 6.
No, we had more than that. We had because Detroit and New Orleans are playing each other. That's why.
Texans? We Texans playing.
Minnesota.
No, who's Green Bay playing? This is a game I care about.
I think Green Bay's got a bye week. Oh no, Monday night. Hot Atlanta.
Green Bay.
In Green Bay. You want to pick that one? That'll be an easy win, right?
Green Bay.
That'll be an easy win, right?
Yeah, Green Bay.
Yeah, I'll take Green Bay. Okie's got the bird. Pittsburgh.
For Seattle.
Seattle, Randy Fry.
And then Okie picked Seattle.
Yeah.
All right, so I picked Green Bay.
Tyler's got New Orleans, Pittsburgh, and Dallas. And we got it on slow response, so we got to wait 15 seconds or something.
I picked Dallas. Okay.
How many games is that? Is that 5?
That's 5, but we've been picking 6.
I don't. Ooh. This will be a good game.
Ooh.
New England at Kansas City.
KC.
I think the Patriots are going to win this one.
I'm going to go Patriots
At
on that one.
Kansas City? No.
Yes.
Because the Patriots have a kick-ass defense, and I do believe their quarterback has bought into the system.
All right, so we just need
Tyler
Randy's-
Shields says Brett Favre. I think that means Green Bay.
Yes.
Bet favorite. For the 15th pick in the 3rd round, Green Bay picks. No, it's Atlanta. Atlanta picks Brett Favre.
Sort of the last name is Favre.
Randy Fry, Green Bay.
Sweet.
Then we got New England and Kansas City is our last one. And then we have to break for commercial.
I'm like super excited because you agreed to it. If I find it, we're gonna set up a fantasy league for curling.
If you find it, we'll do it.
Oh, I found one. It's not gonna be ready until like February.
We'll do it.
It's gonna be fantasy curling.
We will have fantasy curling, and my number 1 player Sven Wargashansky
From like Regina.
from Saskatchewan.
Regina, Saskatchewan.
From Saskatchewan.
Dude, okay, so
He's got that great sausage place up there on 5th Street over by St. Victorious.
the way they do it too.
I love the way he packs his sausage and throws his rocks. You know what I mean?
The best way, like the best part about that whole thing is like you have like a salary cap. So then, like, each player costs X amount to put on your team.
So it's like the old way the football was.
Yeah. So it's actually a pretty cool method.
Randy Fry, KC, and He-Man, NHL picks? No, we don't do NHL picks because the season's almost over. As a matter of fact, the season is over.
Did Dallas win the cup?
I think Dallas won the cup.
All right. And we just need Oki's picks.
So we just need Okie. Tyler Shields, Kermit, and KC.
Okay. Those are our picks.
Those are the picks.
It has been sealed. Once I write penis on the paper, it's
sealed?
Yeah. I'm not joking.
Pinay? Won't you write Pinay on there?
Well, I'm doing it for, the micropenises, which have been the dominating force in the league now.
Stanley Cup Finals haven't happened yet.
They haven't happened? It's Dallas and Tampa Bay, isn't it? Yeah. All right, let's take another break. We have now here on this show, we are not an echo chamber, and we played a pretty kick-ass commercial to begin with, but we still have the three main candidates in our presidential election who appear on all 50 ballots. That way we'll play all three of their commercials through the show. And here's our first serving. I am Mike Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave, and you are on the air.
That's how you know the records have been sealed.
Jo Jorgensen is the Libertarian Party's nominee for president in 2020 and the only candidate on the ballot in all 50 states other than Donald Trump and Joe Biden. A recent NPR poll showed her pulling 5% nationally, which could cover the spread between the president and his challenger. According to a chorus of pundits and partisans, though, voting for a third-party candidate is a waste because it doesn't change the high-stakes battle to either toss out or keep in office Donald Trump in 2021.
This is not the time to withhold our votes in protests or play games with candidates who have no chance of winning.
Jorgensen, a 63-year-old Clemson psychology lecturer, is running on a blend of standard small government rhetoric discussed with career politicians, optimism about young people, and, of course, the occasional craziness that we all expect from third-party nominees.
I am running for president because government is too big, too bossy, too nosy, too intrusive. But the worst part is they usually end up hurting the very people they're trying to help.
She says that most of her followers are either independents or first-time voters, and that the real mistake would be to vote for Trump or Biden, particularly in parts of the country where a principled vote is unlikely to impact the final outcome.
I would say if you're in a solidly red state like I'm in, if you don't like what Donald Trump has been doing, if you don't like the bigger government he's given you, then voting for him is a wasted vote. And to Democrats, especially Democrats in California and New York, don't vote for Joe Biden. Vote for what you really want.
Jorgensen, who ran as the LP's vice presidential nominee back in 1996, wants to bring all the troops home, cut the size of government in half, legalize drugs, and in our interview suggested replacing Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court with someone like 82-year-old Alan Dershowitz, though she later recanted on social media because of his statements that torture may sometimes be acceptable, his opposition to gun rights, and what she called unresolved questions about his association with Jeffrey Epstein. Jorgensen says that Republicans have failed to live up to their promises of fiscal discipline.
A lot of people don't realize that government grew year after year after year for 8 straight years with Reagan. People keep saying, oh, look at Donald Trump, we got tax cuts. Well, yeah, but he increased spending. So the bill is eventually going to come due. He came in saying, I'm a businessman, I know how to balance a budget, I know how to cut spending, and he didn't do that. And not only did he not cut spending, he increased spending. Now we've got a bigger deficit, bigger debt. Whether you're talking education, healthcare, retirement, it all boils down to, are you in control of your dollars?
Biden, says Jorgensen, has shamelessly pandered to voters for nearly 50 years.
People wanted to hear him say, I'm tough on crime, so he said, I'm tough on crime. And now they want to hear something else, so he's something else. He doesn't have a rudder. He doesn't have something that's guiding him. That's true not only about Biden, but pretty much any Democrat out there. Young people are shocked to hear that both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were against gay marriage just back in 2012. That was only 8 years ago.
Speaking of young people, Jorgensen is big on Gen Z, arguing that young Americans are less about cancel culture and being woke and more about being laissez-faire.
They go, well, why shouldn't you be able to own a gun? Why shouldn't two people of the same sex get married? If you can drink red wine, why can't you smoke marijuana? So that overall they have a very libertarian underpinning as far as their kind of live and let live libertarian philosophy. So that's excellent news. If I could sit around the kitchen table of every American family in this country, I would win by a landslide.
All right, here we go. We're back. All right, looks like Kansas City's got this one wrapped up.
And thankfully, they're keeping it on the ground, so that means I should hopefully win this week's fantasy.
Okay, now we're going to get to fantasy since Leland's been dropping hints the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get out of here into my fantasy league.
I have something that was supposed to be brought up today.
What's that?
Regarding the fantasy matchup of Okie and Chuck.
Yeah.
About how Okie unmercifully whooped Chuck.
I know. Chuck's been having an off year.
Yeah, the only person he beat was me.
Well, I got beat by the Micropolis 112 to 65. But if you look at my roster, I had a good roster.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson. They were playing Cincinnati. And he only puts up 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Amendola, who's usually good for 10 or 15 points.
Queen Amidala.
Only puts up 2. Herndon, who's always in the double digits, only puts up 5. Larry Fitzgerald, who is projected to make 20 points, 1 point.
Okay, let me tell you about something.
1 point.
What happens to things with the last name Fitzgerald?
It doesn't matter. Fitzgerald's been giving me points every week, but this one.
Only on the Great Lakes they sink.
Yeah.
I don't know that. That's why I hate this, man, because you don't know.
You should know that.
And then Baker Mayfield.
Husky boy.
Baker Mayfield on the bench got 36 points the week before, only puts up 14. And then Tom Brady on the bench, 23 points. Jefferson from Minnesota on the bench, 30 points. I mean, what the...
Look at mine.
I know.
I had a whole bunch of players, too, that just didn't make points.
Russell Wilson, 35 points. Sanders, 14 points. McLaren,
look how many points my defense
12. Tampa Bay's defense got 21 fucking points.
Well, it's because they have Tom Brady on there.
Yeah. I'm just really good at not being good at this, so I win.
And your bench is clean. Amari Cooper's the only thing on your bench that was worth anything. Everything else is garbage.
No, yeah.
So you got lucky and picked all the right people. I didn't pick the right people, even though one of the people that I picked usually puts up high numbers, only scored 1 point.
Yeah, I mean,
God, I hate this freaking stuff, man.
It's not going to save you against the Micropolis.
Well, I play you again. I'm going to get you next time.
Nope. Sounds like another free wad of meat for me.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Because, I mean...
And look, all my people are hurt now.
Dude, that sucks.
God.
Are you going to be excited to have to buy me and Alex lunch plates for barbecue? That's what's going to happen.
It's just you.
Well, no, this was a co-team effort.
Oh, is it a co-team? Are you guys co-team?
Yeah. You may not want to admit it, but
yeah, he picks he makes the picks, and I say, yeah, that sounds about right.
So my
The only
Tyler and Davis are 2-0. So when do you guys play each other?
in like week 10 or 11 or something.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
So
we're
that'll-
also
so-
in the same division.
So that'll be the big showdown.
Yeah, literally the only worthy opponent. Everybody else, I'm just.
So
gonna-
John Deba, make it happen. Iceman with Chuck, the Sky Marshal, and Nicole are all 1-1.
What was the result from Okies and Chuck's game? That's what I want to hear. That's what we want to hear as a people. Because it was painful.
142-87.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes put up 40 points.
Like
40
that
points.
hurt. That's like like last week when I got like 180 to like 90.
He put up 40 freaking points.
Guess who was the second highest quarterback in the league?
Foles.
No.
Donald Trump is
Donald Trump?
good at
No,
one
it wasn't
thing.
Donald Trump.
Actually, it was
stop.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
How do we fix
Okay,
this
the third
autoplay
highest
bullshit?
Huh?
The third highest quarterback in the league.
Not Russell.
Matthew Stafford.
No, Dak Prescott.
Mm.
If he had decent fucking receivers that fucking ran the routes correctly and ran in instead of towards the sidelines, guess what? He would have had some room to throw and they could have caught the damn things.
Tyler
and that would
says
have helped.
finally a worthy challenger. Hi, Radar. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You just what's going on? You just come in and say hi? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, there's just going to be
You
nothing
just come in and
but
say hi?
domination until we play. Everything else is just kind of warm-ups and practices, basically. Because after that, like, it's expected that I'm
I
just...
think Radar misses the radar cam. We need to get that fourth camera up
Yeah,
and running.
wouldn't that be like a fifth camera?
Fourth.
Wasn't Chuck the fourth camera?
Yeah, that's what I'm
No.
saying. I think we need more.
We'll have radar cam.
More cameras. I don't mind not having
Well,
a camera.
right now, the computer's running on a 3-core, 6-thread CPU that's 5.5 years old.
All I'm hearing is
on
nerd stuff.
on a DDR3 platform. So I've got 3 or 4 motherboards that I've selected that I'm going to have to raise money to get that are DDR4 and have enough USB ports to hook up 5-6 cameras and have the processor speed, because it's going to be an 8-core, 16-thread with 64 gigs of RAM.
Okay, you're saying all these computer words.
These are. I just went nerd. I just went straight nerd on you.
Well,
All right, looks like
have
I
you tried
won.
going straight nerd in fantasy? Because you should.
I should.
I won.
Because
I won.
you're 0-3, dude. Come on.
131.6.
I'm not talking about you.
He-Man says, I love the football picks and political ads. It feels like the Super Bowl.
Right? Basically.
Well, we are kind of a pseudo sports political show, so.
Yeah.
And this is an election year. After the election, we won't play. Well, really, the goal on this show is to have content creators, and when your music video gets released, we're going to play that. When we have content creators that have shorts and comedy shorts off the Mad Circus, we're going to play that. I mean, we're going to have a lot of stuff to play, and it's not going to be political ads. But right now, we're in the middle of an election cycle.
Yeah,
Tomorrow night, what time does it start tomorrow?
I'm guessing 7. I'm guessing
7.
I don't
7
know.
o'clock.
What time
We're
do you
gonna
want to get blacked out?
We're gonna go live tomorrow during the presidential debates. Here we're gonna have a special, an on the air special, and myself, I'll be here. Leland said he's gonna be here. Nicole might be here. Mad Mike says he lives here, so he'll be here.
Could you pull me up on the desktop capture?
I
zoom in.
Well, we would have to figure out this. I don't think the CBU can handle that. Remember, because it froze up during.
Well, maybe what we could
Pragmatic.
do is we could just point a camera at a
true.
tablet.
But
that
I
has
could possibly Skype, and you could call Skype, and I could just open Skype. I mean, we haven't used it because, it's... Well, the last time we used it was with Roger Stone.
I thought you used it afterwards.
No, the only times we had issues was when you're trying to run Facebook and YouTube at the same time.
No, what's his face from...
No, when we talked to the Seattle dude.
Yeah, it froze up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was because they'll want to click on shit and get in the way guy over here.
And that was because of Zoom. That was because the Zoom was maxing out the CPU. So.
Over here, yeah, and then you like messed
And then I
with
tried to mess with it, yeah.
Because we had a bunch of stuff going on the desktop here. And all that. And we were trying to run a video at the same time.
You got to say it right. It's Clicky McBoomer.
Clicky McBoomer over here. Like,
Gen X.
Let me try this and then.
Clicky McGen X.
He's like, hold on. Let me go put on my Nike Air Maxes. Mow the lawn before I click.
My New Balance 407s. I'll be right back. Gotta get the insoles.
Yeah.
Hold on. Does anybody know where my good jorts are at? They have a carpenter pocket on the side of them. There.
My jean jorts.
That's what I use to hold on to my tongs when I'm out here grilling sausage. That's all I'm hearing.
It's like the 12th time he said sausage on this program.
Well, because sausage is amazing.
Sausage is awesome.
It's one of the best food.
It's like
groups.
the food of the gods.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
You got a fan there, Alex. I think he's talking about you.
Oh, no.
What does he say?
No, not me.
Is he cute? Notice me, senpai.
Says, give the guy in the black his own segment.
There's two guys in black.
Wait.
Which one, damn it? Oh, that's you.
I've already asked like 3 times, all right?
Yeah. I think he means, I think he means Leland.
No.
I said
'Cause
which
he said
one?
the
The
guy
handsome
in
burly
black.
one or the sweaty one? So
the guy, he said the guy in black in the middle, and that would be Leland.
yeah, but
I
if
mean,
you
unless
think
he's
about
talking
it,
about
I guess
shorts.
right.
Leland
here,
is going to have his own segment.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
He is going to have his own segment, and
It's
now all
gonna
that's
be-
coming. This show is not
it's
going
going
to
to be. We're going to toss Leland these curveballs of questions for supporting Donald Trump, and we're going to watch him struggle to answer it. And we're just going to make a whole segment out of it.
He paid more taxes than Amazon and Apple combined, so there you go.
Dude, he didn't. Okay, all right. Look, can we talk about that for a second? Just a quick second. The fact that he didn't pay taxes 10 out of the 15 years doesn't mean that he was so good at not paying taxes. It means he didn't make any money.
No, those are considered write-offs, man. I mean, it's the kind of thing that if
I know,
you,
so it's like,
it's
oh,
all-
yeah,
it's all
you're such a
considered
good
write-offs.
businessman.
It's all
Yeah,
considered
oh.
legal write-offs. I mean, if this was such an issue, he would have been audited and he would have had his property levied against years ago.
in the
He
president's
has like $300 million in debt.
in the president's defense, he's using laws that are in the books, and he didn't break any of them.
Yeah, I mean, he's not.
I mean, it's hilarious that he's losing all that money, but
Yeah, that's the funny part. Everyone's like shitting their pants, like I didn't pay any taxes. Like, yeah, because he didn't make any fucking money.
Okay, so next week, I'm playing Clinton County. Iceman's playing Wilco Tropical. Big Sky Marshall's playing Cedar Parks, so John Diva. Tiger King and Team Brown, so that should be Tyler should have a win. But Cropinus is playing against Nicole. And Davis and Coach Kevin.
Isn't it technically Mike Crop and I?
Mike Crop and I?
You said we'll see the perk.
That might
It's
be.
technically the Mycrop Enuses.
Enuses.
So Chuck Lacotta can
It's a,
Chuck
it's
Lacotta
an
can
eel
bounce back.
that's
The
just
bearded
like 2
one. He
inches
says,
long.
"That's you, Alex. You should have your own segment."
I should have my own segment.
The one with the massive brain, Gower.
Big brain. Yeah, why don't we have the Mad Mike and Alex Big Brain Power Hour?
We
where
could do
just get
that.
to say whatever the hell we want about shit.
You guys could do that.
You just like shit on everything.
Yeah, a whole hour of just dissenting opinions towards stuff. Which would be so fucking sweet. We're like, you know what I'm fucking tired of? Taxes. Bullshit. You know what taxes pay for? No-knock warrants, which is bullshit.
It's all connected, damn it. Why won't you agree and vote with us?
So Trump did not pay for any no-knock warrants.
Stop electing people who perpetuate this shit.
So Trump didn't pay for no-knock warrants.
I'm tired for paying for goddamn hot dogs and paying taxes on them sometimes.
And what's up with corn dogs? How come corn dogs aren't free?
Yeah, exactly. This is horse shit. The fact that I get taxed for stupid crap. Okay, rant time, part of Power Hour. I'm so tired of taxes for stupid shit. If I have to pay taxes, at least let me fucking choose one I want to pay for so I can pay for awesome stuff.
I'll pay a solid 10% of my income if I can choose to where it goes.
Yeah, like if I had like the option to be like, yeah, I'm gonna use my tax money to fund like a dragon tank, right? That sets a skull-shaped piece of land on fire. Yeah, fund that shit. That's awesome. You know, fund roads and federal dam projects. Like, I don't give a shit about some of this other crap.
Like, so you want to give your entire tax cut to
by federal,
the National Park Service? I'm like,
so,
yep.
And by federal dam projects, you mean someone standing around going, damn.
Talking about
just like yelling damn outside the Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, actually, they would hire somebody to stand outside somebody's door who's about to get no-knocked and go, damn.
Yeah. You know what happens? They come outside and be like, damn, dude.
Damn. Thanks for the heads up, damn guy.
Damn, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. No, and like, do you know the other thing? Speaking of goddamn dam projects, you
Tyler
know
Shields,
I'm right now?
I'm done.
Lot.
I'm done betting. Yeah, I'm
Dude,
probably not
our
going to win a game
infrastructure
this
is
year.
so
but,
vulnerable right now.
Yeah. Dam projects.
I don't want to
need
give out
be
any
at
more
the
free food.
forefront of our taxes.
What's that?
Federal dam projects. Do you know how many dams are like completely fucked?
Well, Hoover Dam.
They're gonna end up like the one that was kind of over there down by San Antonio. What was the name of that lake?
All of them?
No, there was one that was super cool, and like a year and a half ago, the dam straight up just broke.
Like that famous video of it too.
Yeah, it was super cool. Yeah, there's like a gajillion dams out there, and the federal government's like, well, we gave it to these local municipalities that don't make money, so it's not our problem anymore. You're like, why did you build something and just pawn it off onto poor people? So when it breaks, you're like, it's not our problem.
Because FDR needed jobs.
Yeah.
You want to go outside?
I want my taxes to go to that and dragon tanks and A-10 warthogs. Okay, defund the F-35 because
100%.
Yeah, and go build more F-14 Tomcats. Okay?
Yeah.
I want the military to be cool. I'm tired of like.
We don't need 35-pound helmets that see through the plane. All right, you got skilled pilots already. You don't need that.
Yeah, I mean, if we want like 35-pound helmets, they better do something cool, like have a badass speaker system so you can play like.
So you can Bluetooth into your.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can Bluetooth into your phone and listen to music.
I will pay my taxes to buy the rights to Highway to the Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins if that's what's necessary to maintain our posture.
And we want that played in everyone's helmet.
Yeah, we would defeat China so quickly if our military just looked cooler. I also want us, our formal marches, because we do have them from time to time, we need to, like, make them cool. Like, you know how, like, Pakistan and India have, like, that crazy marching ceremony every year at their border because those are assholes?
Day at their border.
Well, I'm talking about the cool one, okay? Not like the regular ones, like the big flashy dances. Like,
Yeah.
we need to break out into song
No, they
and
don't.
dance and just intimidate our enemies with song and dance. Like,
Yeah, like the North Koreans.
yeah, exactly.
So
You
we'd
know-
have like one big goose-stepping dance-off.
Yeah. And China's going to be like, dude, see those? They just got served. That's what we're going to do. We're going to serve them. You know, because they're having, like, China right now and India are having, like, rock fights and shit. Be like, yeah, look at that. We got
Right.
professional rock throwers, and it's
What
just
if-
like some Dolph Lundgren dude who's from, like, Minnesota launching a boulder into the stratosphere drunk. They're like,
No, it has to be a collegiate softball player from Minnesota.
yeah. This giant, girthy
She's just
lesbian.
like throwing these 90-pound, 90-mile-an-hour underhands, just like launching them.
Yeah, and like they'll be like, don't fuck with Minnesota. Where's Minnesota at in the U.S.? China will learn respect. And this is, see, I would fund that with my tax dollars. Not the F-35 or other frivolous projects which get...
I will say Donald Trump kind of...
Okie says he
Put
wants the taxes to go to stripper relief. The pandemic, those poor girls have been out of work for months.
No, they had drive-through stripper.
I know.
Strip
Did you see that?
Strip clubs, yeah.
It, like, I think it's fair to open up strip clubs if like they're restaurants. Like nothing.
I think it would have been hilarious if they made like
most of them
all
are.
their like all the like dancers wear those transparent shield things that the Chick-fil-A workers were wearing.
Face masks.
So in face masks and these little like I don't know plastic tent things that they had to wear as overalls.
Oh yeah.
Actually, in Florida, there are no more restrictions. Governor
Yeah,
DeSantis-
Florida's open.
It's completely open. No restrictions.
Dude, I was
on
in
capacity
Florida.
and
They
no
didn't
face
give a
mask
shit
mandate
about that. Yeah, when I was in Florida, I was wearing my mask every day like that. I mean, businesses had like, hey, please wear a mask, which is their right. But people were still like not wearing it, and I was like, oh shit, all right.
It's freaking Florida, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we're immune to everything down here.
The dong doesn't give a shit. Okay, those people live through hurricanes.
Hell yeah.
Alligators and Zika. Like, they don't give a shit.
Zika.
Yeah. Like,
Hurricanes every year.
yeah, like, you know, between Zika babies and hurricanes, they're
We ain't worried about
probably
no-
pretty strong people.
We ain't worried about no naders.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you guys seen the all gas no brakes segment on the Sturgis bike rally? Do you guys watch all gas no brakes?
No, I don't.
It is one of
Oh,
the best things
man.
ever. That dude is fucking gold.
All right. I was going to play a Biden ad on this next one, but I don't think I'm not to. We're going to...
You're going to educate us on
All
the
gas, no
all
brakes.
gas, no brakes? All right, pick one. We'll
Hell yes.
play it.
I kind of want to do the Dago one just because it's going to be the first one that
Show
you guys
me your
ever see.
butthole. Dude, when he's interviewing that furry chick, and my favorite part is like, fuck that bitch Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh, man. It's so good.
Yeah. it
I'm
was-
surprised you haven't...
Yeah, and he's like this dorky kid who was like, fuck college, and then wears like an ill-fitting suit and interviews weird.
Randy Fry says I'm going with the Minnesota Curlers in the fantasy league.
Oh, it's like 10 minutes. We don't have to watch the one.
Nah, well, I'll watch it. You don't have to.
You're just going to have to... Here, I'll subscribe for you. There you go. Boom.
Hit that subscribe.
Yeah, no, it's just some like
Hit,
dorky-looking Napoleon Dynamite college kid that goes around to like, events and interviews people.
And one of them, like, he went to the Flat Earthers, and those people were not only weird, but super racist.
Yeah, dude.
You're like,
It was like, holy
I don't
shit.
know what it is about not believing the moon is real and the earth is flat and being extremely anti-Semitic, but it's a thing.
Yeah, it's like, holy shit, dude.
Come on, guys. If the Earth was flat, cats would have knocked everything off of it a long time ago.
Including cats.
Including cats.
Would have been
Yeah.
great.
All right, let's take a break. So
you wanna
when
take a break now?
and we'll come back and discuss the spin-off of this show,
There's a spinoff?
Yeah,
the Mad Mike and Player to Be Named Later show. You got a fan, man. He-Man loves you guys. The Two Young Beards need a spin-off.
yeah.
Hilarious voice. Nice. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll
He-Man.
produce that.
Donka. I think
All right.
it'd be a badass show.
That would be a good show. All right, we'll be right back. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave. You're on the air.
Oh, we could wear tracksuits.
You guys want to do it? I'll do it.
I'm not wearing a tracksuit.
Yeah, it gets hot as balls.
That's going to be too hot. Bear with me, guys. This,
This for Biden?
yeah. Alrighty. Nope. Here we go.
Clear. Rioting is not protesting. Looting is not protesting. It's lawlessness, plain and simple. And those who do it should be prosecuted. Fires are burning, and we have a president who fans the flames. He can't stop the violence because for years he's fomented it. But his failure to call on his own supporters to stop acting as an armed militia in this country shows how weak he is. Violence will not bring change. It'll only bring destruction. It's wrong in every way. If I were president, my language would be less divisive. I'd be looking to lower the temperature in this country, not raise it. Donald Trump is determined to instill fear in America because Donald Trump adds fuel to every fire. This is not who we are. I believe we'll be guided by the words of Pope John Paul II, words drawn from the scriptures. Be not afraid. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
There you go.
I'm all depressed now.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
I don't know. I looked up a Joe Biden ad.
Vote for Joe
and,
Biden.
That's what one of the ones came up.
Vote for Joe Biden, or your whole city's gonna burn to the ground.
Yeah, that one was kind of confusing.
That was kind of,
I mean, I agree with him.
Oh my God, man!
Do you remember seeing Nazi Germany roll into Poland? That's what's gonna happen without Joe Biden. Like,
it does kind of feel like the Republic, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, it was Trump. To be honest, as soon as Biden became the candidate, it was Trump's to lose, and Trump's is doing everything in his power not to get reelected because he says some of the stupidest shit.
You think that he's trying not to get reelected?
Well, if he's not trying to, he's doing a good job of it. Because, I mean, I don't like either of them, to be clear. I'm not voting for either of them. But as an outside observer, looking at two guys trying to be president, they're not doing a real good job. Either of them. I mean, Biden is... First off, the Democrats had so many good choices.
Yeah,
and they
I don't
came up with
understand.
Biden. I don't understand how they did that. And
What the hell? Yeah.
I mean, Kamala Harris would have been a good candidate without being a vice president. I mean, I think if Biden gets elected, he doesn't last a year.
I feel that if Joe Biden gets elected, he's gonna make it legal to sniff hair, like strangers' hair, and ban anime.
Ban anime and stroke.
You watch
hair.
anime?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm anti-Biden.
Yeah, we can't have any banning of the anime.
Yeah.
Well, he also wants to enact a national mask mandate too, a national mask mandate with no end in sight.
No, if he gets elected, the pandemic will be over in a week.
I don't know, dude.
If he gets elected, the pandemic's over in a week.
I don't think they'll.
By the month, because they have to kind of change the focus. If Trump gets elected, the media is going to try to drag it out till at least through Christmas. But and I don't. It's not that I don't believe the virus isn't real. It is real. I think our reaction to it is way overboard and unnecessary.
Yeah, there's some school of thoughts coming out on that about like were the lockdowns worth slowing the spread of the virus.
It helps speed up the spread.
Which didn't do anything.
Which it didn't, because I think that if we didn't shut down the economy, we wouldn't have as large scale protests as we have, all over the country right now. It's kind of that classic thing that, like Trotsky said that.
Well, we would have had herd immunity too. It would have spiked, and then it would have went down because we would have had herd immunity, and that would have been it. It would have been like SARS. It would have been like SARS or H1N1 or any other one of these.
Well, I mean, I understand. It was so that the hospitals didn't get overflowed.
Well,
but you observed it. They never did.
The projection
because we closed down the economy. Like
No.
that's a what's it called? That's a correlative, cause.
But see, the only thing that's wrong with that philosophy is during all this, we had hundreds of millions of people shoulder to shoulder spitting at each other and throwing stuff.
I wouldn't say hundreds of millions, but
somehow hundreds of thousands.
Okay, fair enough.
More people that were going to bars. And
More people that were
sitting
going to
down
work.
and
Yeah,
are going to work.
No, I agree. That's what I was saying. Is that like
And-
if everybody was still
and to
working
say
right
that-
now, it
and-
would have been a different story. Just because I think the protests still would have happened. I don't think they would have gotten out of hand as much as they did.
Well,
No. I'm not.
rest
Hold
might
on. I'm not talking about the protest getting out of hand. I'm talking about the fact that they were totally discounted on any spread of this virus, while people going to a restaurant were 100% responsible for it, and that makes no freaking sense.
Exactly.
Yeah, the whole no gatherings of like 15 people unless it's at a protest thing is kind of like it's a double
Yeah,
standard.
Trump's already saying his rallies are protests. That's how he gets around it. That's how he gets around these things. He said they're protests so people can show up.
That's the problem I have with this, is that the media picks and chooses what is causing the influx in the spikes and all this other stuff, and ignoring and discounting the riots as even having any part of any of it, when that makes no sense.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a.
I mean, I'm not saying people shouldn't riot. What I'm saying is, if they can riot, you can go vote.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can riot, then I can go down and have me a cheeseburger at a restaurant.
Absolutely.
And if you can go riot and spit and yell and scream and not wear masks, yes, some of them were, I can go to a football game and do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing that bothers me about it, is the inconsistency in the enforcement and the inconsistency in the reasons that were being given that the virus was spreading. A virus which has been proven by the numbers from the CDC that 99.8% of us, if we get it, won't die. And that's because I should be dead. If this virus is as bad as the
everyone
media,
in this room should be dead.
no, I should be. I've had over 900 people in and out of my car as an Uber driver in the last 5 months. There's no way I should survive that. But yet here I am. We got HEB employees still working. Walmart employees.
Costco.
But Bob's Market has to close.
All these local businesses are going belly up because of this.
Yeah, well, downtown's a ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to totally rebuild downtown.
I mean, there's.
They're going to have new
bars opening up.
Yeah, they are, but because they went and had the money to go get the license to be a restaurant.
Which is another thing that's kind of like messed up. It's like.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, go
We're
ahead and
in
tell
the middle of an economic, crisis right here, and the city's like, well, not unless we can get our grubby little hands on it.
And then they reduce the capacity too, so you're capping how much revenue you can generate.
No, they're up to 75% now.
75%, but the whole point of that is, without changing anything, all a bar has to do is pay extra money to get a license as a restaurant, not change anything, and get open. Be able to open.
Well, they have to have either a kitchen or a food truck, and then
they don't. They don't have to have anything.
I was literally eating chili cheese Fritos from a bag. I was kind of bummed out. I told the bar manager, I was like, hey, next time get a crock pot out here with some chili in it, so I can put some chili in my Fritos and have a Frito pie at your bar. I just don't want dry chips. I want Frito pie. I'm drunk.
You want greasy, bad food.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting side effect of being
so tell me this though. How does paying more money for a license to be designated as a resident make you immune from a virus?
It's an infringement.
And the bars now have to be creative with the accounting, where they have to have more than 50% of the revenue.
No, they
come from
don't.
the food.
No,
I thought
they
had
don't.
No,
they don't have to do anything. All they have to do is pay more money to the government.
I can guarantee. Well, they were giving out chips for free at the ranch. All they have to do is have food on the table. It's like Sunday before noon laws. Pretty much is that you have to offer.
Ridiculous. So magically,
food.
when you eat something, it makes you immune to the virus.
Yeah, pay more money to the government makes you immune. That's the problem I have with it. I'm not saying people aren't dying, although the numbers are inflated, and that's been proven time and time again. I'm not saying that the virus isn't real. What I'm saying is, don't keep healthy people quarantined, and don't force healthy people to stop living because some people might be immune compromised. Those are the people that need to be quarantined. If you feel unsafe, you should have the right to stay home. What you don't have the right to do is tell me I have to.
Yeah. Government's bad.
Or force them to wear a mask.
Government's bad, and they need to go away.
Also, on the subject of bars and food, why do they not have chicken tendies? Okay, that's another idea. You know what would be awesome? Getting hammered and just eating chicken tenders.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't
just
give a
nuke
shit.
a bowl of chicken tenders. Get some barbecue sauce. Mix it in there.
Or some ranch.
Or some ranch.
Anything, just chicken tendies and booze, or like even offer like hot pockets. Or like
something you can throw in there,
or pizza rolls,
or cheese sticks. Well, it's something you can throw in a microwave.
I just want a crock pot of chili, and you guys are wanting.
I want pizza rolls.
Yeah, just get some Wolf Brand chili, throw it in a crock pot, turn the damn thing on, pour it over some Get the cheap cheddar cheese.
And then you could charge like $6.
Yeah.
For like
40 cents worth of food.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing is that like I said, at the bar that I went to, they weren't charging for food. They were just giving it.
Okie said Biden's girlfriend called him a pedophile. He said that's a big word for a 9-year-old.
Wow.
That's funny.
It'll be interesting
That
to
is
see
funny.
if his name shows up on Epstein's flight
Oh
log.
my God, that is funny.
Didn't Trump's?
Yeah, Trump's did. That is funny.
That's peculiar. I like how that just got swept under the rug. Like nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Like that's just like
I know.
the whole
It just
Epstein
kinda went
thing.
away.
Like, what's her name even alive anymore?
Well, yeah, Ely Maxwell. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything about her. Funny how that works. Pizza
Football
rolls.
started up again. Nobody gave a shit.
Brock Young's checking in. Welcome, Brock.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
This kind of wraps around to the beginning of our discussion, talking about cops just following orders and such.
Well, cops also believing what they're doing is right.
I mean, that's part of
Following
the problem.
orders.
That doesn't make it better. But did you guys see the video of the churchgoers that were in a parking lot singing,
Yeah, trying
songs
to
and
have church in the parking lot.
stuff like that? Yeah, and then the cops arresting the churchgoers. They arrested the pastor and I think like 6 other people, and they just started arresting people
breaking quarantine or whatever.
for breaking quarantine.
Yeah, which is a bunch of bullshit.
And then they
Yeah.
arrested some.
See, now that's the case I believe.
So
At a
now,
football game
now,
when I went
I have to
mass.
tell you, in this case, I would agree with you. If I was a cop and my supervisor said we got to go down to this church and arrest people for going to church on private property outside during a pandemic, I would be like, why?
Why?
What is the purpose? Who are they hurting?
Because now
Well,
you're
somebody
putting,
could get sick. Well, I think that's their choice. So why
Well-
are we bothering about it?
Yeah, if you're putting those officers in contact with people who aren't hurting anybody, who aren't
Who I guarantee you
harming anybody, who are
who
there
I
on their
guarant-
own free will,
Yeah, and who
are
I
now
guarantee
in-
you are not spreading the virus to anybody at all.
Exactly. So it's
because you're outside and the virus
so when
doesn't
you
last
had
outside
said
your
that
body outside.
they're just doing their job.
That's different than a drug warrant. But I
It's
agree
the
with
same,
you on that.
It's the same kind of principle though. It's the same line. It's just cops just doing their job, and it's like, okay, well, this is a blatant infringement on the First Amendment, and these Christians and churchgoers are more than likely conservative, right wing, and they back the blue
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything like that. Now the blue is putting them in the back of a cop car and
Yeah.
charging them with a victimless crime. And then
Breaking social
enforcing,
distance.
fines or jail time.
Yeah,
from
the
them
cops are
because they didn't
breaking
want
social
to-
distance, putting their hands on them, getting in close proximity, then sticking them inside a car where they're less than 4 feet away. I get it.
Yeah,
I get
so
that.
that's what I'm saying is that if wrapping back to my point earlier, if there's more cops than there are politicians. There are more cops than there are city councilmen. There's more cops than city managers. There's more cops than there are police chiefs. And if they just stood together, and you said that they believe what they're doing is right.
In that
Okay.
instant,
I know,
in that
I know.
incident, yeah, you have to take the individual
I'm just talking in broad terms. If most cops are good, most cops are doing what they believe is right. Right? That doesn't absolve them from things that are just blatantly kind of like wrong. Whether or not they're
No,
just
I get it. I
doing
get
their
it.
job.
But you also have to add into that thousands upon hundreds of thousands of incidents happen every day when nothing happens.
Well,
And the arrest is made,
well,
the
they
warrant
equally
is
just
made,
as much.
no one
There's
gets
hundreds
shot.
of thousands of incidents that nothing happens where an officer has now used force and coercion against somebody who was committing a non-violent offense, and now violence is being used against
And
them to
that's-
infringe on their liberties.
And that's where you change the law.
Right. But if the politicians with the stroke of their pen have the force of a gun, they're always going to have that power. Unless the force of the gun says, no, fuck that. I'm not,
Maybe hopefully that happens. Hopefully that happens. I know.
Hopefully it happens. I mean,
there's a lot of.
This is my third election cycle, and I'm like, fuck this. Like, you guys.
I mean,
it
there's
doesn't
a lot
take
of changes.
12 years to change shit.
And you also have to understand too, a lot of things are changing that you never will hear of because it doesn't sell advertising. That's why you never hear about gun owners that actually defend other people with their guns.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure.
That's why you don't hear about home invasions that are thwarted by gun owners.
But
That's
this
why
is
you don't hear
2020, and everybody has this access to quite literally the Library of Alexandria of our time. And if you are ignorant on these things, if you choose, it's a choice. It's a choice not to be, involved and versed and, and knowledgeable on these infringements and these philosophies.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
At the same token, you're absolutely right. And why are people going along with lockdowns and wearing masks?
I mean, because
why are they going along with having their entire livelihood destroyed?
When I go out, I don't want to get sick.
The mask.
So when I go out, I put on a mask
is not to prevent the mask wearer from getting sick.
Mandate.
They're trying to say that the mask wearer, if they potentially are sick, they won't spread it. That's how ridiculous the argument is. And all it does is it just has you trap your own carbon dioxide and you're breathing.
Okay, before I know where you're going with it, we're not going down that road. You're not going to.
Yeah, you have to be an extremely
healthy people,
inactive person.
This is the thing
to be affected by that much.
Yeah, this is the thing about the masks, and everybody tries to bring up Asia, and I lived in Asia for a year. The people in Asia don't wear the masks to keep from spreading disease. They wear the masks because it's butt hugging cold. And have you ever breathed in below zero air?
Yes, I lived in Chicago the first 8 years of my life. Yeah, it burns.
So that's why they wear the mask. But anyway, here's the thing about the mask. And this is coming from somebody I've had training in nuclear, chemical, and biological warfare. I know about viruses and airborne viruses and all this other stuff that I've forgot more than I've learned. Wearing a mask outside in public does nothing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely nothing. When you use the example of doctors wear it in an operating room, the only reason why the doctor wears the mask in the operating room is not to keep the doctor from getting sick from the patient. It's to keep the doctor from spreading contaminants in an environment that is sterile. The outside world is not sterile. The inside of my car is not sterile. Somebody yelled at me yesterday for not wearing a mask inside my car while I was driving, thinking, well, what if the virus comes through the vent? This virus is like any other virus.
Well, I watched Contagion, and I can tell you.
Lodge itself in the fabric.
One of your balls, hold on.
Let me tell you this right now.
One of your balls is sterile.
No, one of my balls never formed.
I mean, technically, it's sterile. Like it's.
No, but an operating room is a sterile environment full of filtered air.
Filtered air. Leland,
Yeah.
Leland, let me finish my goddamn thought.
Hashtag nut gang.
Tell it to this guy.
If you wear a mask outside, or if you wear a mask in a store, if you wear a mask anywhere, it's a psychological thing to make you feel safe. It does not make you any safer. If you're gonna, because guess what? We've all been wearing masks, and people are still getting sick. Because they were wearing a mask. Because what do you do?
Not everybody's been wearing a mask, though. Let's be honest.
But the people have been wearing masks and getting sick. And if you're outdoors in the sun, the virus isn't going to last that long.
Yeah.
And it's not an airborne virus. It doesn't travel in a cloud. It attaches itself to spit and saliva that when you sneeze and cough falls to the ground. If somebody has the virus and walks out of a room and you walk into a room and do nothing but breathe, you will not catch the virus. Now, if you touch something that somebody touched and they have the virus on their hands and they transferred it to a solid surface and you touch it within enough time, then you touch your nose or mouth, you may possibly get it, like the flu. So the whole mask thing was just to make the public relax. That's why all the different all you have to do is cover your nose and mouth. It could be with anything, as long as you can't see your nose and mouth. You got people with the baklavas. You got people with. I just buy the cheap paper masks. You know, you got the.
We got people wearing pastries.
Baklavas.
Yeah, that's what they're called. That's what they're called.
Balaclavas.
Balaclava, whatever.
Whatever.
You know what I'm talking about.
Is a pastry.
Balaclava. This is spelled the same. Anyway.
Thank you, babushka.
Dude, baklavas.
We used to call them baklavas in the Army. Anyway.
Balaclavas.
You got people wearing anything. And those definitely don't stop. You wouldn't wear those inside of a clean room or an operating room because they wouldn't stop shit.
I just wear a bandana because I think it makes it look cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
People are wearing bandanas.
Okay, here's my thing. If I was wearing a balaclava, it's for a purpose. And it's because I told all the surgeons to go home. I'm about to do me some operating. So I would in that situation.
You would wear it in that situation.
I'm not saying that I would be
when you're performing
on a,
colon cancer surgery.
Cross the pond trip in Ireland. I'm just saying that I would probably be in a cross the pond trip to Ireland.
Yeah, I want to go to Ireland and wear balaclavas. And get rid of the snakes.
And want to celebrate St. Patty's Day.
And one of the interesting side effects of wearing a mask is that now it makes it harder to identify the rioters that are burning down local businesses.
That's a news source.
I mean, they would have been wearing masks regardless. Like, oh, thank God, it's convenient that COVID's happening. I wouldn't be wearing a mask while I'm committing arson.
Yeah, they like to wear masks regardless because, you know, they're shitheads. But do you know who's not shitheads?
Who?
The goddamn Irish Republican Army. England, it's been long enough.
All right,
Get the hell out.
Hey, we had a great time. Mad Mike, player to be named later, have a brand new fan. Go ahead and play the Trump ad and then play the end credits, and we'll get out of here. Tomorrow night, I will be live, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the presidential debate. Mad Mike will be here joining me. And
I'll be there too.
And Leland says he wants to come here too, so we'll all be here, and we'll have running commentary during the shenanigans. Might even play a drinking game. I don't know. I might have to work. I don't know, man.
I'm going to be honest with you. I couldn't find a Trump ad on here.
You couldn't?
Yeah, I looked up Trump campaign ad, and it's a bunch of like
long ones.
It's a bunch of like anti-Trump ones, yeah.
It's a bunch of anti-Trump ones.
So I was just going to do this
hey,
kind
maybe
of
just
this
put the
victim.
trailer for Get Me Roger Stone on. Fair enough.
Okay, better idea. Play the music video for Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger by Daft Punk.
No,
we can't do that.
I had one here, and then I kind of got tripped up. Here we go. We'll do this one.
Burritos.
All right, so we'll be live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Other than that, see you next Monday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm Mike Allen. This is the
of the world are allegedly in jail for non-violent drug-related purposes.
Nicotine, alcohol, good drugs. Coincidentally, tax drugs. Now, where's my commercial?
They did everything they could to keep Tulsi Gabbard off that debate stage because they didn't want to hear what she had to say.
Senator Harris put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
I am not in favor of legalization.
We need more prisons.
Your government will continue to act aggressively.
Biden has made it a death penalty offense for everything but jaywalking.
America's public enemy number one is drug abuse.
After all, there's a lot of money in this.
If we don't get tough on the drug dealers, we're wasting our time. And that toughness includes the death penalty.
It's okay to drink your drug. We meant those other drugs, those untaxed drugs.
I will federally decriminalize all drugs, letting consensual adult activities become safer and destigmatized, allowing the true victims to be recognized so they can be given the help they need.
This is your life. You can make your own decisions better than somebody out in Washington.
When we end the war on drugs and free its victims from their cages, it will be because of you.
Salvage lives, not throw them away. We would not see all of the people who are locked up for simple possession, for simple use. If there is no victim, there is no crime.
I'm Jo Jorgensen, and I approve this message.
Great job, team. Head back to base for debriefing and cocktails.